All right. So yeah, it's 17th of April. It's a bit late, but yeah, so it's the end of the week. Yeah, overall, not like a very busy week. It's been a calm week, one of those calm weeks. And also, yeah, a lot of like, you know, uh, yeah, there's always going to be something. And yeah, some movement has been there. So overall, like the main thing that I was focusing on over the past few weeks, which is our WhatsApp thing. It has run into some big problems actually, which is really disappointing. But hopefully, I mean, I'm not able to say what it is now, but hopefully it's nothing, and then I'll be able to talk about it and all of that stuff. Like, but yeah, for now it's a big nuisance. No, anyway, so I'm now working on that, and so there's these three papers which are need revisions that revisions are always hard. Like two I've worked on briefly last week, but there's one more which I haven't touched, so I need to work on that. I was thinking of doing it this week, but it did not happen. Then there is the a new paper. It's about ChatGPT conversation logs and things like that. I think that is very. I mean, it's been there like in the to-do list since February. So it's already maybe a month and a half old. What it needed, I mean, the student working on it like actually finished the analysis and wrote everything, put everything down. But for me to just sit down and say, okay, this and this needs to be done, this type of analysis here, and that sort of thing, like really, yeah, that mental space, especially if there's no deadline, like it really is. I mean, I think it's just really bad planning on my end. But anyway, so this week I really had to push myself to get it done. I mean, last week I was already feeling really bad that I did not finish last week, but this week, yeah, I did finish it. And in the end, like, with all these kind of things, the procrastination is just very, I mean, it's maybe took like, half a day of work or something like that. And that it's like 6 weeks of delay. Anyway, so yeah, now I'm glad it's done. I mean, it's done for now. So yeah, like wrote something like a LinkedIn post posted about it. So that's the post for this week. That is done. So that was the big thing that I did. The only thing, like, is to go through the draft, and I mean, a lot of cloud code in that. And like cloud code now is so dependable, like that it is. You can really like, I think this is. I mean, it used to be half a PhD student. Now it's maybe 95% of a PhD student, I would say. Like, so basically, I have a draft that the student wrote, then I go through it, make pass, and then leave comments, and then I say, Claude, like go and look at these comments, and like it'll do like the writing pass, it'll do, and the comments like things like okay, move this to the appendix and make sure you refer it here, or move this section here, and then make sure you place the figures next to each other. So things like that, like which are I mean, I could have done it, but it takes like 5x more time. So those kinds of things is just like talking to a human now, um, and like update these figures, run the script and update these figures. So things like that. Like in terms of discussion, again, like a lot of it is just my thinking. Like, okay, these are the five main findings to highlight, but combine it with these sorts of economic indicators and think of it like this. So anyway, I mean, this is a typical way, but it's so dependable these days, and I'm really happy that it is there because I mean, I did it in like half a day of work, like it's what, 4 hours of work because of Cloud Core. Okay, so that was the big one. I'm glad, I did it. Let's see how people will react, and people will feel about it. I mean, it's not super complete, like, and I still have to, like, it's not a paper, like, that I can submit to a conference, but yeah, it'll get there soon, but at least I'm glad it's out. Hopefully, again, like, it will get a positive reception. Then, yeah, the other thing I was doing was uh, these Lego videos. So I mean, I got this random idea during the weekend on like doing this, and it was surprisingly much more simple. I mean, it's on my YouTube channel if you haven't watched. So I did one Telugu one and one English one. I mean, Telugu one, I have a lot of other ideas. So basically, originally the idea was not to do a Lego style, but something a bit more cartoonish. Like basically, the reason to do these cartoons is there the expressions need not be that critical, right? Like if it's a human, you can really, especially my own face or a person's face, the expressions really matter a lot. Like it really, you can easily tell and like, even unconsciously that, okay, this is bad content. But if it's a cartoon and like, then I think it's much better. And then that's the first thing. The second thing is a scene, like a movie scene, is much harder to compose because like dialogues are really, really bad. But music is now like almost all like, 11 Labs or the A-Step kind of open source model. So Gemini is producing really good, like 2.5, 3 minute songs. And obviously Gemini is doing it, it'll do it in Telugu as well. Like, I mean, there's some really bad lyrics, but overall it's good. Anyway, so I had a series in mind. Like, so I was thinking of, okay, there's a person who leaves his country and like, what is his feeling? Then, he's settling here. What is the feeling? He wants to go back. What is the feeling? He cannot go back. All of this kind of series that I had in mind. Maybe I'll make it. But yeah, I wanted to give it a try, and surprisingly, it's quite good. Like, so basically, I got the song from Gemini. I mean, I wrote a lot of the lyrics, no, but ideas. So I would say, okay, it's grounded in the sort of coffee from his mom. Basically, that's sort of reminiscent of his hometown and his connections, family back home. And then there's this sort of like financial, anyway, okay, like, let me describe it. But there's a lot of thinking behind that. Like, so this is financial dependence and like financial debt, but also a debt for like that of this relationship. Anyway, so yeah, but the song came out like really well. The lyrics of the song, like it really captured some of that stuff. And then I took that song, gave it to Claude, like I transcribed it, gave it to Claude, and it did all the shot division. Like it said, okay, this is the shots for each of these. And then I used that shot division to generate the videos in Veo. And because I had this pro plan, I have 100,000 credit free per month. So that'll get me like, I don't know, 20 credits per video, which is 50 videos. So which is not bad. Like, so basically I did 22 shots in that, maybe three or four filler shots. And then I also did another. So I got that video and it was really good for me. Like, I mean, obviously, and one thing I feel is like, as a creator, like, I mean, I'm not even a good creator, but you can feel the kind of things that if you put in the effort and you're thinking. Yeah, so that was a very good feeling. And then basically, I mean, it took a lot of time thinking, like, and I did some of the heavy lifting in the weekend, but all of the prompting and like generating the videos. I mean, Google Flow is actually a very good product. Like, it really has this sort of unified interface for image generation. So I could generate the characters and then video generation, multi-shot, like, multi-character references, and almost all of them were done real fast, which is works really well. So anyway, so I'm really surprised and impressed because I did not retake a shot like at all. I mean, obviously you can see in the movie quality that it is, I mean, some of the shots and lyrics don't sync or like it's not exactly what is being talked about, all of these stuff. But that's the thing with the Legos is, or a cartoon is, it's not bad. So yeah, then anyway, I went to Lego because I was seeing some Iranian those propaganda videos and I saw it and I thought, okay, this looks relevant. But yeah, it could also probably be done by a cartoon. And I'm assuming, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure. Cartoon again, like you need to have a very simplistic cartoon. Like it's not a human-like because human-like will always have those things. I mean, the Lego is like okay, it's just a thing with some of that. It's a very simplified version of face. So I think that's why it works. Anyway, so I did that, and then I did it for the paper, uh, and then I did it using an open source model. Oh, the open source one is really bad. Like it has a ton of these artifacts. But anyway, if you haven't watched it, like I think the paper one is also really good. Like really good for me because I spent a lot of time on it. I mean, not surprising, not that long. Like, previously to do like a song writing, song generation, music composition, music recording, mixing, all of that, and then getting the shots shot or animated. This would have taken like a 3 month period, right? Like, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like, people really don't realize the value these things will bring. But anyway, so that's that. Yeah, so I don't know, one day out of the week maybe overall, like went into something like that. What is the value for that? Like, I think there is some value. Like, my research now I want to, have I mean, I spent like a few $1,000s on creating, maybe, maybe $10,000. Not that much, but $5,000 or so on creating videos for like my app that I was building, which was supposedly a big thing back then, but it didn't work out that well. But yeah, so now if I can do that myself, like with free credits or using an open source model or with like $5 of Google VO, it's a huge unlock. Like, so I think, yeah, upskilling on that will help in some sort of communication, science communication, maybe, hopefully. But anyway, it was a fun project. So yeah, that's the other thing I did. Anyway, I think it was kind of a slow week, but yeah, I'm happy I did both of these. So yeah, next week I need to do that revisions. I need to finish that. There's also some other Columbia event next week online, and then the week after I'm going to Columbia on Friday. So yeah, I'm not presenting anything, just visiting, attending. But yeah, thank you. I think yeah, this was longer than I thought, the video. But yeah, I'll see you next week.